It is the final round of the Discraft Ledgestone Open presented by Bushnell. We're back out here at Northwoods Black Shorts. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hot geese.
Honk. We've had 2 rounds at Sunset Hills in the wide open, and now it's time to really dial it in and throw a lot farther.
And to very specific spots.
Yes. We're going to watch Paige Pierce, Missy Gannon, Sarah Hokom, and Kristin Tartar attack this course. Paige tying it up on the last couple holes at Sunset Hills in round 3, but Missy having a pretty decent lead for the rest of the tournament. Sarah and Kristin right on the tails, and honestly, 4 strokes is nothing.
No, I'm so excited, too, to have a tie at first and a tie at third, and Chase Card chomping at the bit behind him.
100%.
It's going to be awesome. Hole 1 is a very difficult birdie. It's downhill 455, so it is reachable, but just look at how tight it is. There is an out-of-bounds line all the way along the left side, so the most common mistake is to flip it over to the right, and it's definitely possible to scramble from there. Yeah, you just really do not see a lot of twos. I would say flip up fairway drivers probably the most common.
From Pensacola, Florida, 5-time world champion, 2-time Ledgestone champion, Paige Pierce.
Yeah, it's just a wee bit reckless to go for this one off the tee because that out of bounds on the left side comes into play so quickly if you catch a tree and get a bad kick.
Yeah, you see Paige just grabbing her buzz.
Most people are just aiming at the ground, trying to get through this initial gap and then dealing with wherever they lay after that.
Yeah, as long as you don't go OB left, it's fine. Paige, of course, the defending Ledgestone champion from last year. That's pretty.
Wow. Not too reckless, but way down there.
Wow, she doesn't need to be reckless. She's just straight good.
Next from Beacon, New York, Missy Gannon.
Missy playing so solid all week. She's led 3 out of the last rounds, right? The last 3 rounds she's been in the lead?
Yeah, she has not been worse than a tie for the lead.
Nice.
She hasn't won a big one this year either. She, of course, won Throw Pink and the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships, among others, last year. What
she
a just
up
massive
some Silver Series this year?
Yeah, I think so. But no Pro Tour or majors or anything like that, though.
Yeah. But super solid all year. Always in the top 5.
Idaho, 2012 world champion, 2012 Ledgestone champion, Sarah Hoco.
Super excited to watch Sarah throw her forehand lines through the woods. It's fun watching her control the angle of her disc and cover a lot of distance doing it.
Yeah, definitely some of the most unique lines you will see, especially in the woods. Sarah got 3rd last year at this event. The one tree you really got to beat.
And from Tarnu, Estonia, Kristin Tartar.
Kristin still wrestling with an elbow injury, but playing through it. Doctors approved that was okay, but it is definitely still in existence and still on her mind, especially on the sidearm shots.
Also, interestingly, Kristin only has 1 career final round comeback to win at D-Glow. So typically, if she's in the lead, she'll stay in the lead, but doesn't have quite as much success coming back, whereas like someone like Paige seems to do that all of the time. So we'll see if she can chase down Paige and Missy.
Sarah still on the initial hill, throwing downhill, puts a little bit too much on it, turns over, but kicks out into the middle of the fairway.
Bogey on this one is
Fine.
fine. It's fine.
It doesn't feel good, but it's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first hole, too, and, I mean, look at this gallery. Maybe a little nerves here and there.
Yeah. I mean, there's $8,000 on the line for first place.
Yep. Huge.
Huge purse.
Nobody finding Circle 1 in regulation, and only 8% of the field finding Circle 2 off the tee. It's only
Paige being
2
one of them?
competitors.
Yeah.
Actually, with the field cut in half on this cut day, I think it's just 1.
Oh, good run from Paige. Yeah, so that's a good point. We did have a cut at 50%. You had to average at least 945 rated golf just to play today.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Missy with a long bid coming up. A little short left.
And as we see here, kind of echoes for the rest of the day, no birdies on hole 1. And that contributed to it being the second most difficult hole of the day. Kristin just coming up short for her par.
Yeah, lead card lady's having some trouble. Hokom to save bogey. That's a good putt. Gain some confidence for the rest of the round. Like, you never want to have that putt, but you feel better once it's behind you.
Yeah.
Missy with a clean par. And Kristin taking the bogey.
Hole 2, we have a new tee pad. We're tucked around to the right-hand side. You want to throw a turnover or a sidearm here to get past that last corner tree on the left. Ideally, out here in the middle. It's not a very big landing zone, and you still have about 250 to almost 280 to the pin. It's slightly downhill, but it plays every bit of that because of the narrow gaps. Check out the new tie-dye hats.
Yes.
We got pics in the upper right-hand corner, gkprodisc.com/2hotgeese, and that is the number 2 if you guys want tie-dye dad hats. We got them.
That's about as inside as you want to go. And it turns out decent, though there are some fairway trees over there.
Yeah, I needed to push a little bit farther.
Yeah, it's a touchy angle. You want to be probably 15 feet farther to the left than Paige landed.
You want it to flex, but it's crazy. If you flex too far, then you have almost nothing as well.
Yeah.
Where Missy landed is not bad at all. She'll still have a
it's
little
fine.
bit to go to the landing zone, but because she's further to the back side of the gap, she'll have a little bit more of an option.
Hokom putting it out a little wider, but catching that last branch.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
She rolls to about maybe 20 or 30 feet behind Missy, but it's going to be a tougher angle. Kristin going Claymore. That looks really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks perfect.
Yeah.
Great spot.
On the edge just a bit, but with a... She should be able to step out and throw a sidearm.
Sarah able to still bite off some of this fairway, catching a fairway tree, but getting way down there.
Yeah, it should be a pretty routine upshot. Missy throwing Thrasher, trying to get aggressive down to the pin, pulls it to the right. She'll still have probably a touchy upshot to get all the way to the pin.
Kristin has about 300 left to go, and she turns it over pretty early, but gets a nice kick back out towards the edge of the fairway. This plate is the 5th most difficult hole, and you can see how this landing zone is so small, and even if you're in the center, it's a really tough fairway to work down.
I want to go out there and like measure landing zones because some of them are, 20 feet
Oh,
or
yeah.
less, you know. Missy having to do a patent pending as well. It's a good angle if it misses that tree and settles.
Yep.
Missy gonna have an obstructed just inside the circle look for a par save. Hokom shoes. I can't. That was good touch there.
They're very grippy.
That was an envy.
They have a lot to say. Also, those Eastern Wood peewees on the course everywhere.
Pewees, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Kristin with the trusty BT medium harp. Paige is third. Looking like a run. No.
Yeah. Gentle bid. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Through a gap. Circus putt from Missy Gannon. This is why she holds on to the lead, folks. Making putts like that.
Yeah, she looks very calm and collected. Welcome for a par save. Not quite. So she'll drop one back of Kristin. Par for Kristin and tap in par for Paige. Hole 3 is a par 4. It's 453 feet. It is begging you to throw a sidearm off the tee, though the backhand is there. You need to curve to the right. You kind of have to push the back wall a little bit, I think, to land in the ideal spot, which is kind of this dirt patch right about here. There is a very narrow fairway on the left, which is probably the best way to get there. There are some hyzer gaps on the right, but there's not a super clear line over there. This huge tree is kind of the aiming point. It's a blind pin down there, so you know you just need to land about 20 feet past there. And if you throw it with too much steam, that hill's pretty steep and you can go way past the pin. No OB.
That's a great landing spot from Paige. Being tucked on that back wall, like Erika said, is good. There is a fairway over there that's very workable, but it is tight.
Yeah, it's all of like 8 feet of workability, but weirdly, it's the best way to go.
Yep.
Missy throwing that sidearm. Probably wanted to get just a hair farther, but it was a good line. She's in a decent spot.
Even though that is a gap there where Missy lands it, I really just don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like how the trees line it up.
This is a fortress from Kristin, and that's looking good. You can
Yeah.
see she gets a little bit more power than Missy.
Way down the fairway.
Center cut.
Yeah, wrapping the corner.
Hokom throwing her trace. Also looking good.
Smushed.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
And that post is like the marker for that narrow left side fairway. That's a great spot.
A little bit of a flex line here.
Yeah, Missy trying to go that left side. That's well done.
Yeah, checked up at the top of the hill, which is in circle 2 and workable for a long putt.
Another harp shot from Kristin. Just needs to get a little past that big old tree. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice. Inside the circle.
Paige working a turnover. Oh, no.
Almost, but kind of a rough kick there.
Yeah, that left side can be pretty brutal as well. Maybe she'll be able to find a way to the green.
Wow, Hokom like really on this post, but making it look pretty easy. Just needs to settle down.
That's fine.
Yep.
I clipped and got knocked down too.
Hokom was the only person to go bogey free on day 1. 17 pars and a birdie.
Paige did not have much to work with.
Did I go since I'm in here?
Man, it's thick in there.
She gets out that time. So Missy, potentially, if she can run this putt here, though it's very long, she could potentially get 2 on Paige. Still going to take the lead with a stroke. Kristin, super downhill look at it. Nice.
Wow. Great birdie.
Yeah.
She makes this look easy. This one is not an easy one to get. Hokom doing the same here.
Great putt. Forehand, forehand.
Yeah.
That's the play.
33% of the field getting a birdie on this one.
Nice.
After the cut day. That's very impressive.
Yeah, again, pretty particular landing zone and very technical shots. Northwoods in a nutshell.
Let's take a peek at the leaderboard. Halfway through our front 9, and Missy is in the lead by just a stick. Everyone hanging out around even par. It's day 4. Everyone's kind of tired.
Check out Alexis, though. 4 down through 9
Okay.
is stellar.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, remember,
It's got to be bogey free, too. There's no way she has more birdies than that.
yeah, she is bogey free.
Wow.
5 down was the best round on day 1, so she's almost there.
Yeah, everyone else just kind of hanging on through 5 holes. And, you know, this week is definitely a marathon type of a tournament.
Yeah.
Hole 4, ugh. God.
Okay.
This gap is just brutal. It calls for, I think, a turnover / flex backhand. There's also a sidearm as well that you could work through. Basically, you just want to get past the big tree. And then your second shot is pretty straightforward. You can throw a big turnover, flexing sidearm, or maybe a backhand gentle hyzer that pushes straight for a long time. The basket's perched up on a little hill. There's a creek, but it is casual. Oh, but this tee shot.
I think the most common landing zone is to be kind of early left and pinched. Ooh, that is
oh my goodness.
terrible. That is a terrible kick.
Yeah.
That early left, it doesn't really leave you a great backhand to the pin, and then you need to throw like an understable forehand. You see a lot of that.
That was a very fortunate kick for Hokom because going on the left side there in the woods there's nothing.
Yeah,
Trust me.
and again you're super pinched. Missy early as well.
But is that going to work?
I mean, she can par it, but I
Yep.
don't think she'll be able to go for birdie.
Definitely not. Still a little cut.
Yeah, I like the play to the right side of that main center cut tree you see.
It's just narrow.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward angle. You have to do exactly this, but then fade at the end too. You have to like flip something up and then fade. But Paige in a good spot actually.
Yeah, she should be able to work something to the green from there.
Kristin just deep in the woods.
Probably just chipping out here.
Oh, she tries to get some distance out of it. She might be able to scramble from there. That's kind of the zone I was talking about that you see a lot of people land on their tee shot if they hit the gap on the right with a backhand. Ooh, this is so cool.
Juicy.
No, I wanted to see it.
Well, that's a good layup. Yeah.
That's how Northwoods is. You're like, they're the line of your life. And you're like, I just want to see it finish. But then you're fine because it's in the fairway anyways.
Yeah, exactly. All of those things.
Yep.
So here's that understable forehand I was talking about.
Yeah, Kristin.
Wow.
Oh my God, so good.
Completely blind to the green. I don't know if you can tell from the camera angle, but that was unbelievable.
That was a felon. What a scramble. Paige with an open look at it, going fierce. I feel like we've seen her throw like 200 of those shots this
Yes.
year, and they are just looking
Just
so
over and over.
smooth.
over and over again.
Missy from the corner throwing her second.
Has a little bit of a look to be able to get out, but not quite enough to
Oh.
get to the green.
Well, she kind of skips on that bridge. She'll have a long putt from,
Did she land on it?
I think, no, you
just
can
fell
see her in the
off.
water on the left. So unfortunate, but should be an easy par.
Sarah's third. To the green.
Leaves a little bit of a putt there for her par. Ah, dang. Missy in that water.
There's nothing over there either, trust me.
Look at how wet her shoe's gonna be. What did you do? It was like a journey on this hole for you. Missy with a wet left foot, putting from circle's edge to save her
You
par.
can see the difference.
I know, look at it. Totally different color. That's gonna be Missy's first bogey. And Paige is right there for a birdie. 2-stroke swing potentially.
And that can just happen on every single hole.
Yeah. That was a good scramble from Hokom.
Normally we finish on Sunset Hills because of the viewability, I guess. You could have spectators out there. There's a lot more space, but we're finishing at Northwoods this year, and it's going to make for a very exciting, I think, run of events.
Oh yeah, so many things gonna happen. And that is the first time that Missy has not had at least a share of the lead since round two, the start of round 2.
Yep, I think so.
What a par from Kristin.
It was important for me to partner with a retailer that could help with growing my brand and making my products available all over the country and across the world. Flight Factory has helped me accomplish that. Check out all of my gear and thousands of other discs at Flight Factory.
Hole 5 is a par 4, 451 feet. You want to throw something dead straight, about 250 feet, I'd say, to that sunlit patch right on the corner here, over the logs, just past this tree. If you can do that and land within about a 25-foot radius, you are left with a backhand turnover, probably with a putter, or you can get a forehand up there, but I think it's a little tight for that to get all the way to the pin.
Yeah, you don't want to go any further past that sunlit patch because then there is a whole lot of nothing. Really takes away your ability to birdie.
You see a lot of putters and mid-ranges on this throw, occasionally a fairway driver.
Paige coming in super early, but there could be a line over there to at least bite some more of the fairway off.
Yeah, there's kind of like a false little fairway corner that you can sneak through. Kristin early as well, and much earlier.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Earlier than
Trust me.
Paige's early. Jeez.
I'm glad to see other people doing the same thing that I did today. Ooh, Hokom working the sidearm. This is a really tough sidearm hole. Not only is the fairway narrow, but where the trees are placed, it makes it hard to flex the line down there. And you want it to finish more left than right.
No. Oh, it's fine.
Wow.
So it lands right before those logs.
She just plinkos back out of the woods.
Yeah. You can't really birdie from where Missy is, though. Everyone's going to be trying to get their par.
Yeah, she'll just chip up to the sunlight.
Well, it's pretty overcast today, but yeah. And actually, that might be a little bit too far for the ideal shot.
Everyone just forced to chip up here.
That's the spot right there.
Paige just pitches out to the middle.
Yeah, she's
After
able to
the turn.
get up the hill a little bit. So
Ooh,
here's kind of this false corner.
Yeah, still pinched, but she's
Wow.
got the technicality for this.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Wow.
So good.
Wow. Back-to-back, unbelievable sidearms.
That was a verdict.
Oh, yeah. She
Yeah,
went.
her scrambles on both of the last two holes have been just unreal.
Uh-oh.
I think Missy's inside the circle, though. We'll see if she has a putt. Comes
Great.
third shot, looking good.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
a great-looking sidearm. You have to give it lots of height, just like we see here.
And yeah, push that left side, just like we saw Hokom do. Paige a little farther up, throwing a fierce.
That
Looking
looks
great.
yeah.
Pin high. A little deep.
See what Missy has to work with here. From
Well,
the woods.
Got an open look, but outside the circle. Not quite.
Paige with a bit of a tester comeback for her par. She's been looking good on the green, though. Boom.
Still looking good.
Sarah for par. Yep.
So Paige even on the round. Missy with this going to be 2 over and 2 strokes behind Paige.
Nice recovery from Kristin. Using that false corner. Hole 6. The U hole.
You can't just sigh.
Like on every hole. No, this course is exhausting. You want to get just before that big fairway tree we just flew by. Your second shot, you want to throw a backhand and kind of crash more deep into the back edge of the fairway more than shallow, because there's some workable fairway little gaps, but it's better to be a little bit further along. Forehand roller looks great too. Your third shot ideally is straight up, no problem, right up the fairway into the green, and you're just tapping in an easy 4. That's how you draw it up, folks.
Yeah, or if you're Paige, you just throw it in from the corner and get a 3.
Yeah.
We saw Paige absolutely smash this Surge SS. But that was really early.
So it is early, but it is still parable from there. You can't give up yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, never give up.
Because this par 5 is a little soft ish. Yeah, you can still recover if you air your tee shot here.
Kristin was going big off the tee there, but does land in the middle of the fairway. Hokom a little early on the left side. It's honestly not even out of the question to birdie from there with
Yeah.
like an unbelievable second shot.
Yep.
Ooh, that looks great.
That's perfect. Wow.
ESP Thrasher, center cut, way down there.
That's great. And from the tee shot, especially if you're Missy that far down, you really only have another like 350 feet to the pin. It's just an awkward shape.
Oh boy, Paige going forehand roller. You can hear not happy with it, but gets a friendly little redirection.
Yeah, she'll be on the edge. Kristin looking to push the back wall here, and this looks great.
It does look good.
It's got the height to get well around the corner.
And that's the only problem is pushing that back edge. But like you said, Madison, there are gaps in there. You'd rather be there than short. Whoa, this looks cool.
Wow. God, her angle control's unreal.
Yeah, so many people would just turn that over in the ground immediately.
She's just barely to the corner, but she'll have some gaps to be able to go ahead and start ewing back towards the basket.
That was an ascend. That, I think, is a Raptor, and if you land there, you always roll down into that corner.
Yes,
I
you
was
do.
there both times.
Same.
And thought it was a perfect shot, you know.
Word.
Missy with a good shot. We'll see if she rolls down to that dumb corner.
And what a drive from Missy. That was unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah working back towards the pin now. Wow. Oh, just a
Close.
wee bit early.
I mean, that was a crazy angle. So Kristin looking like she's going, yeah, right side of that tree.
Wow.
Why is she so good?
Oh my God, her
I'm, like,
sidearms.
upset.
Her sidearms are unbelievable.
Believe that was a grace. Yeah, she's just hitting these tiny little gaps with so much power and just parking shots. It's amazing.
And Missy, after
Oh,
going
heck
bogey
yes.
bogey, is just under the basket for birdie. Wow.
Paige's fourth shot, trying to save a par here. Cool.
Yeah.
Great shot.
She had something to work with. Sarah having to throw a forehand roller, two big trees right in the way.
Just a gentle one. Just get there.
Oh, that was feathery. No.
Just a bit short. Paige for heck of a scramble.
I feel like I'm like more invested in Kristin's game right now than she is.
I think she's just really professional.
This is what it's like being a fan.
Missy with a great birdie there. And looking like we're going to tie it right back up at the top.
Sarah taking a par even after a little circle two forehand roller. Everyone just really playing this hole very effectively.
Hole 7 is kind of a bonus birdie par 3 if you have a hyzer flip sidearm that fades at the end like Hokom can do. Great. Otherwise, just throw down this gap and end up left with a circle 2 or push the right side and try to get lucky and park the hole.
Yeah, this is one of those where you're just like, okay, I'm gonna chuck a disc and then like deal with whatever happens.
Yeah, like there, if you want to hyzer out on a backhand into circle 2, like that line is there, but nothing else is there
No.
for the backhand.
Everything's a throw and hope-ish.
Yeah, like this is what you do. You yank it towards the right side and hope it gets through.
Okay.
And then you also hit a tree and roll to 20 feet. What a great shot.
Wow.
It's really not a bad play. I think
No.
you see more people do that than not.
I like the flex sidearm here. See Kristin try it out, but there's
So narrow though,
yeah,
and touchy.
and that tree on the right that she barely misses is
That's right there.
it gets in your head.
Yeah, I hit it in practice and was like, oh, going backhand. Kristin up there, maybe in circle 2. It's a little early. It looked like out of her hand.
All right, let's watch Hokom destroy this line.
That's a crave. It's looking good. It just needs to come back.
Yeah. Just a little less.
Her lines are looking great. There's just trees in the way.
And that roar is my card. Everyone making 40 footers in a row.
That's cool.
It was sweet. Oh no.
Page early and left. There are, I was going to say there are some gaps over here, but it's not great. She kicked pretty far.
I She's opting for a sidearm roller.
With a passion.
Oh,
Squares one up. Maybe. Oh, I thought she might be close enough to have a putt.
I think this is her sole. Good touch on that forehand anhyzer.
Only one person parking this hole and 2 other people getting in circle 1.
oh, right into the tree.
Kind of an unforced error there from Hokom.
Yeah. Only 4 birdies on the day. And it's one of the shortest holes. Very irritating.
Kristin laying up to 15 feet. Here's Hokom to save a par. She looks about 45, maybe even closer to 50 feet away.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on, give it to her.
Wow.
Awesome.
And that's how this hole is played, folks.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's see that action again. Hokom, one of the few people to switch to a different putter when she's outside the circle. That was her
To the spin?
Spin, yep.
Yeah.
Spinning it in.
Really sweet, understable putter. Check them out. They feel really nice in the hand, too. Missy, the only one on the card with a birdie look.
And to take 2 strokes on Paige just happens so fast. We've seen like 2-stroke swings on the last couple of holes.
Yeah. Maria Oliva, Cynthia Ricciardi, and Jennifer Allen. The only other ones to find a birdie.
I played with Cynthia and Jen, and they both like parked it. And I was like, what? I guess it's easy.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I guess it's easy.
Yeah, that's how I felt. I'm like a chump.
Hole 8. Downhill, 307 feet, out of bounds all the way down the right-hand side. Very teeny tiny gap. We have a shorter pin this year from years past. A lot of people just kind of pitch one off to the left side to avoid getting that kick out of bounds, but I think we'll see most of our lead cord play a little aggressive here up the middle. Try to park this hole.
I like this change. The basket used to be farther down to the right where the MPO play it.
I don't know if that was intentionally the bail play, but it works out great.
That was a Z Swirl Undertaker, just a pretty straight fairway driver. So definitely, you know, getting aggressive, trying to get to the pin. Wow. Okay.
I don't know if that's how she drew it up, but
Yeah,
it worked.
That was a pure, that was definitely right of the main gap, but she's really close. Oh, that's a bummer.
Man, I thought that was all the way through.
Hokom's reactions always get me.
Me too.
Paige with her fierce. I think understable on a slight hyzer is the way to go. It's just, it's such a tight cap. Paige OB. There is a drop zone. You can see it. It's only about a 40-foot putt. So you do have a pretty friendly chance to save your par if you go out of bounds. Here we go. Do it again.
So many chains on the right side. Those mock X's are brutal.
Paige for her par save. Left side.
Dang. Kristin for her birdie.
There we go.
Only a quarter of the field finding circle 1 for birdie. It's crazy how hard this hole and how narrow this gap is.
So Kristin actually tying it up with Paige now. They're 3 strokes back of Missy. Hokom dropping to 9 over for the tournament. Hole 9 is a par 4, 564 feet. It's kind of one of the easier par 4s just because there's less rough. You want to land pretty much right where these people are if you can get all the way up there, but you just want to land so you have a dead straight look at this probably, 320-foot
Approach, yeah.
approach. There are a lot of trees in the way, and I wouldn't say there's any one gap that you're aiming for. You're just ripping it.
Yeah, the middle gap is not great.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's kind of there, yeah. Wow, Kristin with a friendly tree kick there. She was definitely a little on that right side. I do think you need to push that back edge like she did.
Yeah,
To get to the landing
really
zone.
the only place you want to super avoid here is the early left. There is just nothing over there. No sneaker fairways. No nothing.
No, nothing.
Yep. And
ESP Thrasher, that's a great shot.
perfect. This is a tough hole for a sidearm.
Yeah, but right side's more workable than left.
Yep. And that is a great place to finish for Sarah. It sets her up perfectly for another sidearm to the green of that little tinier right side fairway gap.
Whoa. Grip lock. It's still going. Wow, it's still going.
Wow.
Okay.
That worked.
So, good break for Paige. Kristin having her own good break. Lined up pretty well here.
Oh, yeah.
She's going a grace. Turned over a little too much, though. She is pretty far outside circle, too.
Yeah.
Probably, what, 85 feet or so?
Yeah. This second shot maybe it's just the gap, but it plays a lot farther than it says on the rangefinder.
Oh,
Dang.
Horrible kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that right side, I'm going to use air quotes, fairway is not great. This is the fairway you want. And you can see there is that one gap, but it's just so hard to hit. So you kind of just throw that way and hope you miss all the trees.
Yep.
And Missy does.
The left side of the gap it has too many trees. It sometimes even takes away your ability to putt in there.
So Missy parked. She's going to go one down on the front nine after a couple bogeys early on.
Great gap hitting from Paige.
Oh,
Wow.
beautiful.
What a nice recovery from a errant tee shot that worked out.
And yeah, way to get there for the birdie, too. We're coming up on the back nine fast.
Where is Sarah? Where is she?
She's really far right and probably 250 feet at least away.
Oh,
Maybe more like 200, I guess. Whatever.
I feel like
it wasn't good.
she just had to blast through foliage.
Yeah.
There was no gap.
I mean, I think she's probably at least 125 still. Throwing a little sidearm up the main gap here.
Nice.
all right.
Missed that inside.
Kristin throwing her third shot. Just a little flex up to the green.
That'll be a par. Kristin, probably with the cleanest card here. 1 bogey and 2 birdies. She's 1 down.
I think it's y'all, actually. Yeah.
Missy for birdie. Boom.
So Missy gonna go into the back nine with a 3-stroke lead. Missy has only beat Kristin Tartar once at the Des Moines Challenge, which is interesting. Quick little recap of our card here. Missy and Kristin 1 down on the round. Paige is what, 3 up? 2 up?
Yeah,
Math.
lots more bogeys than you want on the front nine. We saw a lot of green in round 1 from our feature card, a lot less today. It is the end of a marathon week, but we know that everyone on this lead card wanted to find some more birdies.
Well, there's more on the back.
Definitely. And when we look at the rest of the field,
Oh, look at Lisa Vegas shooting in a 2nd place, 4 down through 11.
Owen right there too,
Half
4
one
down through 12.
Oh, Madison Walker,
And
3 down through 12.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
honk.
Alexis Manduhano, 7 down through 17.
Holy moly.
That's course record material.
100%. That's unbelievable. We still got 9 more holes for the final round, and you guys saw a million lead changes already happening, so who knows what could happen in the back. We got the chase card on the hunt as well. Thanks to our FPO VIP members. double check next week Des Moines Challenge. We've got an OTB skins match. The fan experience is available to you. Go to discgolfprotour.com to buy tickets and come hang out at skins in person instead of on YouTube. We appreciate you guys.
Also, thank you to Statmando for providing the interesting stats. They're a disc golf statistics platform. Check them out at statmando.com.
All right, we got 9 more holes. See you guys on the back at Northwoods Black. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two Hot Geese.
Honk.